Today's episode is sponsored by Raul Rodriguez Law.
Are we rolling? We're rolling, right?
Yeah,
we're into
rolling.
it, dude. We're into
already
it.
rolling.
Let's go.
Today, I really wanted to rock the boat. I wanted to kind of talk about these little things that we have opinions on, but we don't really always vocalize, right? Hot button issue right now, WNBA, pay us what you owe us, right? All this stuff, like we're seeing it right now, and I don't know. I feel like they're getting paid more than what we're owing them, and in a way, but I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not a WNBA fan. I'm not really looking at it. I do have an interesting story, though. When I was at Baylor,
You played for the WNBA?
No, almost. I could have, but I made it.
Yeah. You could have easily played in the WNBA.
When I was at Baylor, my first year of college, I'm walking on campus, and I'm at the cafeteria. I'm walking in, and I see this huge guy, just come in, tall, right? Like, and I'm just like, this guy is huge, right? Like, I can't imagine how he has to be a basketball player. He has to be, whatever. And just because he was carrying a basketball and like backpack and whatever, slides.
You figured he was a basketball player because he had a basketball?
Yeah, he was tall and like people were around him and all that, right? So I was like, I had just gotten there and I'm figuring this has to be a basketball player, right? Like whatever. And they're sitting down, there's a crowd around him, whatever. And I'm like, I want to figure out who this is, the guy on campus, right? Because like, I go back to my dorm, I'm looking it up, Brittany Griner. Without a doubt, right? I was like, whoa, this is a chick. Like, this is a girl. Like, he's a girl. Yeah, right? And looking up at highlights, and she's dunking already and all that. And I'm just like, dang, like, this is like the real deal. And I walked next to her to class one day, and I was on the sidewalk, and she was walking like this, and she was still taller than me. This girl is super tall. But I come in contact with a Baylor, Brittany Griner, which is at Baylor, she's a legend there, right? And I can see skill there, and I can definitely see like there's something there. But at the time, it was just not. I mean, Robert Griffin III was there too, so it was like not. She wasn't the main person, the main athlete. But watching her play, I was like, okay, there's some skill here. She's tall, it helps, right? But
that's the only skill she has.
That's just it was just one of those things where it was like, I don't really see how this is a good basketball player. She can dunk, she's tall, but
if you put her against a high school varsity center and you'd make him play one-on-one and you'd playing at 11, I say 11-3 varsity player.
I don't watch the WNBA. Every once in a while
no, you don't watch it. You don't watch it.
But
I know you don't. You're watching
surfing.
You're watching on Sports Center when it comes.
And so you see golf and you're like, all right, here we go.
But what's the girl's name? The Reese? What's her name?
Angel Reese.
Yeah. Here's where I was like, wow. I heard this the other day. She had the most rebounds, right, in the game, but they were offensive rebounds of the shots she was shooting.
Yeah, she was missing layups.
She was missing layups or missing shots and getting her own rebound. Yeah. But she has the most rebounds of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's how she racks up her rebounds is by missing the little gimmies that she has under the bucket.
I never heard of that, where you get the most rebounds in a game, but you're getting your own missed shots.
Yeah.
I guess that's why she coined the term me bounds.
Me bounds.
She's getting her rebounds.
Yeah, me bounds.
Oh, that's right. She has a T-shirt that says me bounds.
Me bounds.
But those are her rebounds from her shot. I
don't
know. I'm not trying to hate on WNBA.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But
I watched Caitlin Clark.
She is.
She's got some game.
And so what I don't like is Caitlin Clark. She comes into the WNBA and she brings the noise. She's filling out stadiums.
Yep.
Every away arena that she shows up at is sold out her first year. Unbelievable.
That's unheard
Why
of.
are these other players trying to hurt her? They're trying to
They're
throw her
dogging her,
down. They're elbowing her. They're trying to beat her up. They're just jealous. And now one who is used to be the face, I guess you call her the face of WNBA, which I don't know if holds much weight, but Kelsey Plum, right? She's very popular. Kelsey Plum,
okay.
very popular player, Olympic player, whatever. And recently during the All-Star game, she, they're wearing their shirts, and she was saying how, some people, some players, management, they came together and decided to wear the shirts. And then out of nowhere, she just decided to throw out in the press conference, yeah, but none of Caitlin Clark's people were part of this group, and just kind of throwing like a little shade towards Caitlin Clark. And another, I guess, big time All-Star player looks at Kelsey Plum like, what are you saying? Like, why do you have to say that? They're just targeting someone who's bringing them the most money they've ever seen, and they're trying to throw her to the wolves. It just doesn't make any sense. They're so ungrateful.
I was watching.
And jealous.
Yeah, I was watching a ESPN reporter saying she single-handedly took all of y'all from a motel to like the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
And y'all still want more money.
And
Like,
not flying
and then
commercial,
now
flying
they're trying to beat her
private.
up and
and
get
now
her
they're
hurt.
trying to.
And
You're trying
it's
to hate
all
on that
because of
girl.
her.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be having this conversation if she never even gotten here.
Y'all got planes now. Y'all got private planes
Yeah.
instead of
They're not flying commercial.
Yeah.
So
No more Wendy's.
you know what I mean? Like, talk to the girls 6 years ago that were playing in the league.
Yeah.
If you got it better, if you're getting paid, if you're having these luxury
That's
things.
like it's funny. It's like we get some type of great fighter coming to our gym, and he brings all the media, all the that comes with that, right? And we try to get him hurt so he doesn't come in anymore.
We're sparring them heavy, and we're like,
we're trying to beat him up.
yeah, it just doesn't
Doesn't
make
make
sense.
sense.
It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
But I don't know. I mean, that's the weird part about the WNBA is you would like to think that they're as collective as you think, but they'll turn on each other, and they're like,
Yeah. They're turning on their prized possession.
Well, I think they're going like a lot of sports. They're going through growing pains, and they're having to deal with this sensation right now that just very justifiable because the way she plays. Talking about Caitlin Clark, right?
Yeah.
And she had a lot of juice riding her out of college. She was big time news when it came for WNBA draft and going into the season. And every game that her team is playing on, if she's playing, it's the highly rated WNBA game. So you can't deny all of that.
and that's the whole thing where like a lot of these big people like Kelsey Plum, like she's good. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
she's
at
No,
the same
because
time,
she's good.
At the same time, she got that stardom by how she looks.
Yeah.
She got that stardom by like
Yeah.
outside, like
And she's a looker.
social media stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not so much, but Caitlin Clark,
Sports
You gotta
Illustrated
think-
covers, stuff like that.
Caitlin
Her
Clark
looks.
got there off skill.
Yeah.
She can play.
No,
she
she
can
can
shoot.
play.
You know what I mean? Like she's getting there and she's earned that
Yeah.
tier.
But
You
to
know what I mean?
her, to her credit, a lot of it, I think, because I think she's a very brilliant person, Caitlin Clark, but also a brilliant business person because she's not airing a lot of this laundry out there.
For sure.
Like you said, she's not. She's
takes
carrying.
credit on her own.
She's
She
carrying a
lets her
lot of
game
weight.
take care of that.
Yes, she does.
And she doesn't have to back anything up. She has Gatorade behind her. She has all these huge sponsors.
State Farm.
She don't got to open her mouth.
Yeah, that's it. And she just has to keep
I
playing.
think
And
the sponsors pay her more than her WNBA pays her.
Oh,
Right.
Definitely,
she's
for
probably
sure.
getting paid what, 100,000?
right.
She's making 107,000
A year,
WNBA, and she's making probably millions of.
And that's
endorsements.
why that girl Kelsey Plum was like, none of her management showed up to, pay us more, meeting or whatever, because
She don't need it.
She don't need it. But again, it's like, why are you even throwing that out in the first place?
But yeah,
Jealousy.
it's a weird one. It would be interesting to see where the
Tells how you feel,
WNBA
Dean.
goes in 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see how far this goes along before people start getting upset and say, "Man, all they're doing is fighting."
Like all the
against
people
each
that
other."
are talking, all the names in WNBA, Angel Reese. The best thing that happened to Angel Reese was Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't
man,
know.
it's a great drama between them. I mean, it just
Because the thing is, you can't even say like let's just take it back in the day. You can't say because people were trying to compare it to Bird and Magic.
Yeah, that's it.
But there's no magic on Caitlin Clark's end.
Right.
What's the game? Where's the skill? Caitlin Clark is over there. Where's Angel Reese's game at? Like, Angel Reese, they don't have the.
Yeah. Well,
She's not Magic.
They have to build some drama, some storyline behind it,
Maybe
even if
that's
it's
what maybe it's a
manufactured.
storyline, yeah.
Even if it's
But I
manufactured,
don't ever hear
just to
Caitlin
get
Clark talking
eyeballs
about
on
Angel
it.
Reese.
Well,
Never.
hey man, I just hope that it continues to grow. I think it's evolving right now.
So do they deserve more money? Is the question.
Well, Dean brought up a valid point. I mean, and I agree with his assessment. I don't know. I haven't seen the WNBA finances.
According to
it's-
ChatGPT, which shows to be 100% truthful at all times. But on the it says they're losing a 40 to 50 million.
I think that information.
MIYO.
I think that information's not up to date.
That
But
means
let's
the NBA is
just. But they're
losing.
still losing money. Whatever it
Well,
is.
the
money.
NBA helps pay it off too, because I think the WNBA is off. It's a
I think
brand
they're one of the
NBA.
owners of it or something.
That means
like
the NBA is
but-
losing 40 to 50 million, and that's hard because that could be one player.
It says despite record-breaking growth and revenue,
Oh my god!
attendance and viewership, they're still losing 40 to 50 million.
Okay.
Million.
That's
So-
5 incoming new guys.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, so if you're a
That's an
business
awesome-
person
that's an awesome-
and
That's
somebody
5
says,
rookies.
"Hey, I want more money," and you go, "Dude," I would just say to them then, "Okay, well, let's just do a rev share then."
Yeah, because again, they're saying, like Kelsey Plum laid out. I don't know if it was Kelsey Plum or not, but I believe it. She laid out. I'm not trying to get paid like LeBron. I'm not trying to get LeBron's number. I'm trying to get the percentage that LeBron gets from the NBA.
Well, they're getting that information from their agents. They're getting that. So the math is not all adding up between ChatGPT and what's really out there. So we don't know. Like I said, I would like to see the WNBA numbers, the balance sheet to understand where all the revenues are coming from, where all the expenditures are going. I don't know enough to say.
You're in this arena, right? Of putting shows on, of doing something, of Again, this is a different thing if you have active viewers, right?
Right.
How important is live TV? How important is the viewership?
That's it. It's
You know
all.
what I mean? Like,
it's
if there's no one
it's
tuning
a
in-
major driver to it, man. Because that's and it's this now, right? Watching games on this is just as important as watching on your big.
That's the
screen TV
number
at
I
home.
want to see. How many people tune into this game?
Well, I mean, I think the numbers are out there. Ask ChatGPT that number.
Yeah.
But it's a great question to ask. It's a great debate to have. Mark, personally, I don't have all the numbers, so I can't defend other than to say that somebody is planting that seed in these players' minds. They need more money.
Yeah.
And that somebody's got to be the agents. Hey, this is a business. They make more money if they make. Yeah, I get all of that.
I want to know who came up with the
But
shirt.
where's
made the shirts?
all the? It's 40 to 50 million. I don't know if that's accurate. And maybe they're losing more, but maybe they're actually making a little bit.
They're probably
Yeah,
losing more.
but maybe they're making some money. But it's not showing up. But where? That's the thing. I don't know where all these revenue pools are at.
Bottom line is, I hope the game gets better,
Yes.
and I hope to get paid what they deserve.
Yes,
but
I
I hope
agree.
the game gets better so they can get paid.
Because you can even see it like.
And I
back
think
in
they
the-
have to embrace I think they have to embrace someone like a Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, of course.
It's
More
probably the
than what
most
they're
any
doing.
podcast
course.
has ever talked about WNBA, so that's already a win.
Yeah.
On their
Four
end.
guys.
Hopefully
But
we get
even
picked
then,
up by
but even then,
WNBA
if you're
folks.
looking at it, back in the day, they looked like they had more skill. You know, like they look at those
the
players
90s,
who
early
hoop.
90s.
I truly feel I can beat every WNBA player on the game of one-on-one.
I don't know about Caitlin Clark. I don't know.
No,
Somebody got you.
besides her, probably not. Probably not her.
But she only has a 3-point shot, though.
Yeah,
That's all she
I mean,
needs.
but she can. That's all she
That's
needs.
the
She
game.
can-
You know, that's
Yeah,
the
but
NBA
I
too.
think
Well,
you're a little- I think you're a little stronger than she is, Dean.
Yeah.
I should be. I hope so.
Well, I think that you guys are.
No, and I'm pro WNBA.
We just
because
want talent.
I have 2 granddaughters, and maybe one day they want to play in the
Sure.
WNBA. Whatever.
I believe
But
they could.
I know they
at this
can,
rate.
but
Yeah.
but I want them to do better, but they have to play better
Yeah.
so they can make more money.
I
There's
think
a-
if
you know what?
yeah.
And this is last. I mean, I don't know. Keep talking about women basketball, but there's a girl from France who's throwing it down. Like there's a girl. Like, this French basketball is like
It's
skyrocket. I
tops.
don't know what they're
Yeah.
putting in their water.
They're old school.
But man, they're
basketball
throwing
compared
it
to
down
what
from
we
the
do.
free throw line. These women, it's intense.
So here's
Well-
the thing. Here's the thing about it, right? To piggyback off your topic, overseas play basketball has gotten so much better.
the best.
Men and women.
Men and women.
Yeah.
Now the whole thing about this, the next topic I wanted to get on was, is influencer athletes ruining sports.
I want to finish one thing on WNBA argument.
Go for it.
And it's this. I think that, your granddaughters do have that ability if they get started to play early. And it's like WNBA to me right now has been getting better. I feel has been getting better. And it's because at the youth level, the players are getting better. The coaching's getting better.
Yeah.
It's no different than U.S. soccer, women's soccer, right? They spent a lot of time and money decades ago building up women's soccer, more so than the rest of the globe. The rest of the globe, they were spending time on the men's side, and the women's weren't really getting a lot of attention. That's all changed in the last 10, 12 years globally. So that's why you're seeing a lot of these women's soccer teams from England and Europe really starting to give our American girls a run for their money, because by far we had the best soccer club on the planet, women-wise. And so I think that to your point, France, the rest of, they're spending a lot of time. Those kids are really getting into it. So the programs, the mechanisms, to the training, the focus that they're having at the youth level, it's just starting to grow.
They make them train and practice.
That's
instead
it.
of go to
And
school.
I think over time, the WNBA, I think we all want the WNBA to succeed. I think we all want the quality of play to get better and to be really
takes time.
competitive.
And just you talking about that, I think about how it takes time, because when boxing first started for women, man, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
It was sloppy. Now some of these women some women are fighting nowadays, and they're selling out arenas.
Well, look at the
but the boxing itself, the art itself,
Yes.
for women has changed so much. And they're, even at our gym, these women are, man, they're like, these girls are tough.
Yeah.
And
But again, we're saying that based off the skill that we saw evolve. Right now, the biggest thing is Angel Reese, who isn't that skilled. Right now, they're getting so much criticism on their All-Star game because it wasn't that good. These are supposed to be the best players in the league.
Yeah, that's the craziest
You know what I
part.
mean? So that's
Show
the
us what
thing.
they're worth, and then you watch the highlights. It's just,
So that's
oh
what
my
I'm saying,
God.
where I don't believe the game's gotten better.
it hasn't evolved, right?
Back
The
to
game?
my point of influencer athletes. That's who you're seeing in the WNBA
Influencer
outside of Caitlin Clark. Even in boxing sometimes, right? Even in these other sports, influencer athletes could be ruining that sport. Boxing is getting kind of ruined right now based off influencer athletes. Jake Paul, he's getting better. He's getting better, but at the same time, he doesn't deserve the platform.
There's a lot of
he's at.
factors.
A decent amateur beats Jake Paul.
For sure.
A decent amateur at his weight beats Jake Paul.
At his weight, I don't know. I mean, because again, he has pro experience right now.
No, well, what I mean by decent is a guy who's almost gonna be, he's won the national Golden Gloves.
Well, hold on. So
Think about that. He beats Jake Paul.
not to defend Jake Paul, because
But you like Jake Paul, don't you?
no, but to defend
I like the business that he's done.
Oh, yeah, of course.
to
Brilliant.
defend Jake Paul. How many fights does he have?
I don't know. I would say he probably has like 7 or 8.
Name
Under 10,
any
for sure.
other professional boxer who's actually going the route. Maybe they've already had 50 to 100 amateur fights, then they turn pro. How many of 10-0 boxers are actually fighting guys that have experience? These 10-0 guys, they're fighting tomato cans. They fight tomato. And Jake
Paul lost to a guy who's 7-0 who's not even that good.
Yeah, but if you look at Tommy Fury's background, he's been in the game for a while. No one else that's maybe he was 3-0. Jake Paul was probably 3-0 at that time. Was fighting guys at that caliber. They're fighting
He's
guys.
not that good, though.
They're fighting guys that have their shoes on backwards.
Jake Paul, the first 4 or 5 fights, he fought guy.
I know that.
He fought Nate Robinson.
Well, I
Yeah,
know
Nate
that. I know that.
Robinson,
But I know
retired
that. But
NBA
again,
players.
if people once fighters turn pro, they fight guys that are off the street.
But he hasn't turned.
So you can't.
He hasn't fought a real pro fighter yet.
No, but again, those guys, UFC fighters, they have experience
He
in the
fought
ring.
Mike Tyson.
They have experience in the ring. They have experience of combat. You know what I mean? So
Mike Tyson studied the art of war.
look at any other guys that start off 10-0. Look at the guys that they fought. Those guys are terrible.
And, but they don't have that contract clause either with that Jake Paul.
Well, either way, he's getting in the ring with them. And that's why I respect the. Huh?
He knows he won't get hurt because he has a contract on it.
I don't know.
That's
And that's
You
the
don't believe
debate.
that?
That's
You don't
the
believe that
whole.
there's a
That's the
contract?
thing. That's the whole debate of why didn't Tyson punch? Right? Why was?
He had his handcuffs on. You had $20 million, $30 million riding on it.
I think we need
really-
to ask Mike. I think we need to get him on our show. And
Yeah.
we need to
I really
ask
don't.
him those
I really
questions.
don't believe.
You don't believe that?
I really don't.
I'll guarantee
I really
you.
don't.
I don't know.
I just think
Mike's training. Mike has 50-something professional fights. He's training and he's throwing punches at guys while he's sparring. Then he goes into the fight, doesn't throw a punch.
Man, you saw that. You saw.
Jake
You
Paul's
saw
that
him in
good.
the locker room. His
Jake
butt
Paul,
cheeks were out.
Jake Paul.
His butt cheeks were out.
His butt
He
cheeks were
forgot to
cold.
put his underwear on.
His
That's
butt-
how
butt
nervous
cheeks
he
were
was.
cold,
He
yeah.
was nervous. He was
I
shocked
know.
before he walked in the ring.
Yeah.
I think you saw a 59, 60-year-old guy who, yes, I mean,
Dean,
he's once a
Jake
dog,
Paul weighs me by 80, 90 pounds. I'll give him a better fight than Mike Tyson
But-
because I would punch back.
but in training,
Unless
but
there was $30 million for
But
riding
in
on it.
training, yes, of course, you're gonna feel good. Everything's gonna feel good. Tell me if I'm lying. Just tell me if I'm lying.
You're lying.
Okay. No, that's all I needed. No, if say like this night of the fight, you know, like and you're the energy's up, you know, the crowd's going crazy. Your legs aren't slightly affected by that.
Dean, think about this.
I don't know. I'm asking.
Mike and I are 4 days apart, right? In our birthdays. We're 4 days apart. You think that if I trained for 2 months straight, every day, did everything I was supposed to do, spar with everybody, go into, you think I would freeze under the lights?
Not freeze under the lights. I'm
Or-
saying you don't think
you
your
think my
legs
legs
would
would get tired because I haven't been in that position before? Mike Tyson's been in that position 50-something times already.
Okay.
That will not worry him at all.
So why didn't he throw?
And
Why
he's-
didn't you throw? You think it's because
I guarantee you it's because of that.
So you're
a
saying
hard time.
it's
I have
the
a hard
$30
time Mike
million
Tyson.
check that he got or whatever he got.
It went by, he went by increments. If the fight finishes here, boom, boom. But if it goes to 10 rounds and I win, you get the
But
full-
that we don't know that for a fact. That's
Well, I know a lot of people that
Okay.
say otherwise.
okay. So basically, he says, "Hey, Mike, Jake Paul, Mike, here's it. You can make as much as $30 million, but
Check
I got to
this out.
win the
Say-
bout.
say
Where do
I-
I sign?
Say if
right?
I'm going to fight you, and I said, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm going to fight you, but if the fight goes 10 rounds
Right.
by increments,
Yeah.
and if you stop me at this point in round, you don't get money. If you stop me at this point, you only get this much. If you stop me, but if you get the full 10 rounds and I win, you get full pay.
What do I
30
sign?
million.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Try to knock me out?
No, I'm going to say, what do I sign?
Exactly. You're gonna hold me up the whole time. You're not even gonna punch. I'll punch.
Right.
You may miss by accident and hit me.
Right. Well, yeah. Well,
Mike Tyson in the fight. Mike Tyson in the fight throws a hard punch, hits him, and then like held him up.
Yeah, he did catch him in that first round.
He caught him in the first round and held him up like, oop.
you think Cassius Clay could be Jake Paul?
Oh, right now, yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you going to
Let
say?
me ask. Do y'all think Jake Paul is training like he's going to fight a great fighter? Like if he's going all in?
I bet.
Oh,
I think
yes.
his training.
Oh, yes.
I think his training is
Y'all
No,
real.
he trains
he's
great.
Training as much as he
He
Because
does
the thing
everything
is-
he can.
So why
The
would he
thing
train
is-
and then pay the guy off? Why would he even be training in the
He
first
still has
place?
to look good. He has to
But
look
it's
good.
a
He has to look like
business.
he
I
knows what
mean,
he's doing.
Then why?
He still trains.
Look, I mean, go back to this, man. It's a business. Business.
If
Yeah.
Jake Paul's
MV
that good, why doesn't he fight a up and coming 30-year-old, 25-year-old guy that's the same record or has a better record than him? He won't do that.
He won't get the numbers. and
No
he
one
won't get
does.
that
No
money.
one. I mean,
But it's about
and I
Jake
hate
Paul
to
now.
sound. I
Now
hate to
it's about
sound.
Jake
I hate to
Paul.
sound
Now
like
it's
I'm
about
defending him.
It's a business.
I don't like Jake Paul. I'm not defending him, but I'm just trying to for the rebuttal. No one's doing it at that record. Who's trying to challenge themselves at 10 and
I'm
0?
not- I'm
No
just-
one.
I'm
No
just trying
no
to say-
professional fighter is saying, well, you know what? I'm 8 and 0 now. I got to fight a champion. No one's saying that.
Well, because he's not really 8-0. He hasn't fought real fighters yet.
Okay,
He
well,
doesn't have to.
Exactly, but that's why he's not.
He don't have to.
He doesn't
He
have
still
to.
got. He still got ranked
He's
13
just
in the
making
world.
money. He's still making money.
Yeah, of course. You're gonna
Okay,
keep making
Jake
money.
Paul. Put Jake Paul aside for a moment.
Oh, Dean, I'll guarantee you right now. I promise you right now. You fight Jake Paul, you'll stop him. I'll guarantee you would, right? And you know that. You know Jake Paul's not much. You could stop him.
He's got to go through that right hand though.
Do
He
you
has a good
think?
right hand.
Yeah, but you got just.
But you already know what he's
sit
going to throw.
Do
Yeah,
you
that's all he has.
think
Somebody set it up.
Jake Paul aside? Just put. Let's park him for right now. Just MVP
Hold on, real
promotions.
quick. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
I gotta say this before I forget. You fight Jake Paul, I know you can knock him out, but if he gives you a contract for $30 million, you can't touch him. Do you touch him?
Where do I sign?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I forgot what I was going to
Yeah.
say. No, just kidding. MVP promotions. I mean, I think they're putting some exciting fight cards, man. This last one that they
Oh,
did,
for sure. Yeah.
I think they're just as good as, if not better
It's
than
better
some
than the
of
main event. It's better than the main event. Most
Yeah,
of those
they're
fights.
all coming out.
Like
to
the
be
Jake
better.
Paul
Well,
Chavez
the
card.
whole
I mean,
card
fight-
overall, except for a couple of weekends ago when we had great fights, right? But I mean, MVP's putting together some really good cards, man. I mean,
cards are
very
great. They're
competitive.
making people
The
fight.
matchmaker, I don't know who the matchmaker is, but I think they're doing a great
It's really
job.
good.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's better than the main event, right? Jake Paul Chavez was a snoozer,
Yeah.
right? There was nothing going on there. And again, I don't know. You could probably prove that point of why didn't Chavez throw?
I can see Chavez
right?
taking the money for sure.
Well, he needed to because he knew that he had the ice people there, right, ready to go.
He's,
all
he's
of
in
them,
Mexico now.
Huh?
You had
He's in
people,
Mexico now
you had
with
people
all
more
that money.
dangerous than ice.
He made
He's
that
in-
money.
he's
What did
in
Chavez
the-
make? 20 million?
I don't know.
He made 20 million.
He's in Mexico
He
over there
didn't
without his
touch-
shoelaces.
He didn't even touch Jake Paul,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's a lot better fighter than when he fought.
what he
Jake
put
Paul.
on, yeah.
Yeah, he's a lot better fighter. And he's a young guy,
Yeah.
but he had to.
He was saying that
handcuffs on to.
these the Sinaloa cartel would hire Chavez to beat up their guys, and he can't beat Jake Paul.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's just the whole thing where that's like, that's a whole debatable thing, right? The only thing I'm saying is on the Jake Paul thing to bury the hatchet is the proof would be in the sparring. I want to know who he's sparring with. I want to see those sparring videos because that's different. These guys aren't getting paid like the fight is, right? So there's no real incentive to hold back on this guy. I want to see who he's sparring with. I want to know who he's sparring with. That would be a big thing. I want to see training
Yeah, they
tapes.
never show those.
They don't show him
They never
sparring.
show him sparring with him.
So I want to see who he.
Why
who
would
he's
he have
sparring
to?
with.
He's not going to get hit.
You know what I mean? Okay, so there's that.
But he can only carry that. He can only ride that for so long, right? Jake Paul, right? At some point
I mean,
in
it looks
time,
like it's
if
starting
people
to fall
tune
down.
in-
It looks like it's starting.
If people tune in,
They're tuning out now. It seems that way after the Chavez fight.
yeah,
how do you
I don't
come back
know.
from that? Who do you fight next that makes you?
I think for him, if he fights a really competitive person and loses, I think he could fight again like every other
Definitely.
fighter could. You continue to do it until it's not working for you, and then you pivot, and your business is now you already got this MVP platform. That's a valuable platform, and you just start to milk.
Because
that
you have
for
to
as
think
long
of
as
it
you
this
can.
way: is he's building that platform, but we're all tuning in for the undercards.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not really so much excited about the Jake Paul
right.
card. I was excited about the undercard.
Yes.
You know, like those fights are really tough.
And those women that fought there, man, they all got. I mean, they were.
Amanda
those are-
Serrano was good. I mean, Amanda Serrano is one of those females that can fight. You know,
Yep.
and again, I wanted more from her. I wanted to see more from her in her last fight against Katie Taylor, but still,
I
like
think
those
she's
girls
done,
can.
man. She can't.
Those girls can box.
She's done. Yeah.
But since we're going on this whole boxing thing, and what do you think about the Pacquiao fight? Do you think Pacquiao won, or did Barrios really edge that out?
I mean, you always say, you got to beat the champion,
Yes.
convincingly, and Pacquiao didn't do that. So there you go. I just feel like
That's my argument too.
Mm.
I'm with you, D.
You got to kill the king,
you got to kill
Right.
the king.
To
and-
be the man, you gotta
beat the man.
beat the man.
But again, the whole thing is, for me, on my end, I know it's not a popular opinion, right? I'm not trying to be a hater, or I'm gonna finish this one.
Yeah.
I know I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that, but I know that Barrios WBC belt, he inherited that belt off an email, right? So he was an email champion, right? And then he got 2 draws, Abel Ramos and then with Pacquiao. So
Oh, that's right. It was a draw.
I don't know. It's just one of those
Forgot about
things.
that.
It's one of those things where it's like, usually they say if you get the draw with a champion, you won. And
Yeah, that's true.
Is
That's
there any
true.
is there any longevity in giving the belt to Pacquiao? Who does he fight next, right?
And he's ranked now. That's crazy.
So, I would think if this is a business,
It's a
I'm
business.
giving it to Barrios. I want him to have the belt.
Well,
So I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Yeah.
he has it.
Yeah.
He has it. Yep.
And Pacquiao saying he only trained 2 months. Do you do the rematch right away? I mean,
Well, Barry said he'd give him the rematch.
And I don't.
mean,
and
of
I,
course.
to be honest,
He
I
does
don't.
it,
I don't know who else Pacquiao will fight and not get beat up.
But is that
Isn't right now the talk, or is it over with the talk with
Floyd.
no, it was Pacquiao and Tank. Was it?
no, it was him and Floyd.
It's him and Floyd.
Tank retired.
Oh,
I heard.
Floyd Mayweather. Okay.
Tank-
As of yesterday,
Tank through
Yeah.
the term that he's retiring because he's tired of the sport. But that's not.
is
not
this
true.
is that Barrios' typical style?
yes.
This is my first time actually watching him
So
fight.
all of his fight, and again, he's not a very exciting fighter.
He's
he does
not.
things right. He does
Yeah.
things well.
Yes.
He has good jab.
Yes.
He's long. He
Long
stays
reach,
long.
yes.
He uses his thing, but
And his
there's
strength,
nothing
yeah,
exciting about it.
Right.
And it's a very he does enough
He's
to
very
win.
methodical, right? But
Very much so, but he does enough to win. I would like to think if he was methodical, he would have attacked at some point.
yes,
But he wasn't, right? And
Right.
again, he was saying Pacquiao had some pop, which I believe.
Yes.
Right? I don't think
Yeah,
that goes
that power
away.
doesn't go anywhere.
But again, it's very Barrios has a style that fights to not lose,
yeah,
not to win.
yeah,
Right? I'm not gonna lose,
right.
but I'm not gonna go win that fight.
Well, I was impressed I was surprised the fight went the distance.
Yeah.
I was surprised that Pacquiao was punching deep into the fight like he was. I was maybe so okay. So yay, Pacquiao! I'm impressed for you. I mean, you did that, and that's why I asked about Barrios' style. It was my first time seeing him, and I kept the whole fight out. Come on, Barrios, dude, come on, do a little bit more. And then
His past few showings, I feel like everyone's screaming that, and he just doesn't have that like push. You know,
because that's his style, right?
Well, I wouldn't say it's his style. I just feel like throughout time he's been lacking that like. All right, let's go get him. Let's go kill him.
I'd rather be
mentality.
safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And that's why I say whoever's handling Mario Barrios, I'm not too sure who's handling him. I know PBC's been like, you know, back in the day they were really taking care of him with matchmaking and all that. Whoever's handling Mario Barrios is great.
It's a great job. Yeah.
Done a great job with their boxer, with their
Well,
fighter.
that's good. No, I mean, listen, I'm rooting for the guy just because he's San Antonio based, and I like.
But I'm gonna keep it real. I gotta keep it real, though. You know, I don't care where you're from. I gotta keep it real with the sport that I know. You know what I mean? And we can all see it. Everyone kind of knew it. Even Barrios' last fight, he got dropped against Abel Ramos under that Jake Paul Mike Tyson card. He got dropped early, and he barely squeaked it through. There was another draw.
Yeah, he almost got stopped.
And that was a fight that was supposed to be like a coming out party. That's a big show, right? That's a big card that you want people to really do well on. And I knew Abel Ramos. Like, I know how he fights, and he's a tough Mexican fighter, you know? And when he dropped Barrios, I was like, okay, like I wasn't surprised. You know, even when I was talking to y'all before about when we were talking about the Pacquiao-Barrios fight, I was like, I could see Pacquiao winning. You know what I mean? And everyone's saying this dude's 40-something and
46
whatever.
years old.
And I'm like,
30
well, look
years
at this.
old.
You got to draw with the guy, and I thought he won. Technically, I mean, I
draw
really
with
thought
a
he won.
champion.
Well, if that continues for Barrios, at some point in time, like he's no longer. I think they're kind of protecting him. I think he's at the level right now where, all right, man, you got to go there, right? He got paid supposedly what, $500,000, maybe $1 million for this last fight. Pacquiao ended up getting, what was it, 20?
He got something crazy like
Something
that.
crazy. I mean,
They
but
said
deservedly so.
They said Barrios got under $1 million.
Okay, so but Barrios, he needs to take that next step up. This was a great exposure for him with a global superstar.
He has all the exposure you need. Yeah.
So now it's the next step up. But if he continues, in my opinion, based on what you're saying, and having followed boxing for a long time, at some point in time, that fighter, that champion gets dropped.
And that's the whole thing. That's why I credit whoever's handling him, because it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
You know, and again, it's like we're saying in basketball. Like some of these guys in basketball, they're not trying to win championships. They're trying to get paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're okay with getting paid. And that's the feeling I get with Barrios. He has a championship, right? But I don't know who he beat for that. He didn't necessarily, even the first world title he won, I thought it was a tough fight, you know, whatever. But I don't know. It's one of those things where, is there an incentive for him to make that next jump? He's making his money and he's being handled well. Is there an incentive for him to really go for that? I'm going to knock this guy out this fight.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure they want to, but if you get, even it's just the boxing history of it. The last guy to be like that Azteca guy, Fernando Vargas. That's a warrior. That's a guy who's going to go out on his shield. He's going to go for it. Barrios isn't that guy.
Fernando Vargas was, man, if you had him out, he's going to get up and
he's going to get up and come back.
He's going to fight until he gets stopped.
Yes.
And that's
doesn't play it safe.
And that's the thing where, you know, I don't see that with Barrios. Plenty good. He has a great boxer body.
Yes.
Tall, long, lanky, great jab.
Yep.
But why doesn't he do that? The little extra stuff. You know
And
what I mean?
Paulie Malignaggi ripped into him. Did you hear? Did you see that?
Who did?
Paulie Malignaggi.
Okay.
You know,
From the
retired
Sopranos
fighter.
HBO
He's with
guy.
Pro Box right now. He's a commentator on Pro
Oh, I
Box.
think it was a Sopranos character.
Yeah,
Oh, that's Polly Walnuts.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that, you know, someone who's well respected in the game just really just tore into him.
Well, what did he say?
You know, what you would expect. You know,
Okay.
he doesn't deserve
For someone
where
who's
he's
kind
at
of, and again, like and that's the whole thing. You got to be careful because when you say stuff like that, it can very be easily misconstrued as jealousy or your career didn't go like Paulie's. His career didn't go the way Barrios's is, right? But again, it's about how you're being handled. It's about who's taking care of you, who's setting up these fights for you. All these things, like all these fights should have been easy wins, not easy wins, but all these fights should have been really good showings for Barrios.
Is that the same trainer Barrios has had?
He
was in his
had
corner?
the trainer he had right now was the guy he kind of started with, I believe.
Okay.
Bob Santos, yeah. But again, it's just, I don't know. Like, why not take that extra leap on those fights with Pacquiao? Or why not try to take out a guy like Abel Ramos, who's apparently not on your level, right? But he dropped you. So
I guarantee you, if Barrios would have at least put some pressure, put his head down and go, he would have stopped him easily.
Yeah.
But again, it's the defensive play.
And that would have been huge for him, business.
Exactly.
Right? Next payday, dude, you stop.
Because I feel like us,
Manny
like, there's
Pacquiao.
guys from San Antonio that want those San Antonio guys. Like, again, we talk about Bam almost every podcast because we're boxing based here in San Antonio. But at the same time, he's taking guys out.
Yeah.
His last fight was great.
Oh, dude,
He had a
he's-
great fight last fight.
I had
Surgical.
an interview yesterday with
Yes.
La Prensa, not La Prensa, someone that the current wanted to do a story on Bams, but they talked to me about him. And I said, this guy's the best fighter probably ever from San Antonio. And
From Texas is a debate,
but the thing is that what I say is, for some reason, the Americans don't care for the lighter weight division. You don't see, but he's like, people don't see that lighter weight division for some reason. It's always like 130 and above or 125 and above. Heavyweights, middleweights. The lighter weight guys don't get the same recognition that they should get. They punch more, they fight more, they're more entertaining. But Bam doesn't have that. And plus, he doesn't have that character either. He's not out in public doing things, and you don't even see or hear about him. You ask the average person, who's Bam Rodriguez, they wouldn't know.
When you're in an auto accident, you shouldn't be concerned with legal runarounds, just real advice. You deserve an attorney ready to work for you, an attorney that won't back down.
I've lost loved ones due to the negligence of others. If you or a loved one has been injured in an auto accident, I want to be there for you.
Raul B. Rodriguez and his team care about ensuring you and your family are represented, whether on the road or in the workplace. Raul is real, and Raul won't back down. Call 210-899-0300 to schedule a free consultation.
I'm gonna make this point.
Yeah.
If you, and this is just how the weight classes and the exposures work. If you give Mario Barrios Bam's career, Barrios is a legend.
Oh, for sure.
He is a around the world legend because of his weight class. But Bam has that pedigree. He's how many times unified? He's going for
How many belts does he have? He's like a whole bunch.
30.
So it's like, why, there's always that debate of why isn't he this, but he don't care to be like that. But the whole thing in boxing, if you give Mario Barrios Bam's career, Barrios is a legend. You know what I mean? And that's just the weight class difference. He's a household name, and you don't have that career. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I'm glad they're representing San Antonio. But at the same time, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, well, let's represent it a little bit better. Let's fight.
Yeah.
Like, you should be taking these guys out. I'm glad he got the opportunity to fight Pacquiao, but damn, like, Pacquiao took that fight for a reason.
He got paid.
This was one where I thought this fight, me in my little mind, thinking storytelling mind, that all right, this is the fight that really puts that rocket on him.
For sure.
Barrios.
You should have.
You stop this guy, and now you're riding this rocket ship, right? And
Why didn't you go for it?
I don't know.
Right? And again,
I think the opportunity was there.
and
I
again,
don't
it
know.
could be some people who are handling, boxing. Some people would say, hey, get the draw and get the next payday. You know what I mean? Rematch him.
I was just surprised at the decision. Honestly, I thought that Pacquiao was going to get the belt.
I thought so too. But again, if you're thinking on the business side, where does that go?
Yeah, because that's what my point is. If Pacquiao fights anyone else in that division, Pacquiao gets whooped. I think personally, because
That's a different fight.
because that was Pacquiao picked the right person to come
Pacquiao's
back with.
wife picked Barrios.
Yeah.
Pacquiao's wife said, "You can beat this guy. I trust this guy for you to fight this guy."
Wow.
Anyone else, people they all have that like killer instinct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think
Well,
that's
Pacquiao
the.
had it.
And
He was
they're
going for
willing
it.
willing to
We're
die.
talking
on
about
their shit.
Barrios.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't think he has that killer gene.
Yeah.
And there's some great fighters. I think he's a great fighter to come out of San Antonio, right? Obviously, I can't deny that. But
World
at the
champion.
same time,
Yeah.
there's the kill gene, right? There's great basketball players, and then there's Kobe.
It's like, you look at
You
Bam.
Kill gene.
Well, I hope for Barrios' sake, honestly, I just hope that whatever his next fight is, he shows us that.
Because that's the whole
Yeah.
thing. Where now you're gonna have to, like, if you're playing matchmaker for a guy like Barrios, you got to give him a fight that he can knock somebody out on. You got to give him a fight that he can really do well, stop a guy. Like
Pacquiao was that guy.
Pacquiao was the one. Like, you're right. It could have put a big jetpack on him, but it didn't happen, right? But with Bam, he's fighting these guys and he's taking them out.
Yeah.
World-class guys taking them out.
Right. No, Bam without a doubt, man.
So that's just
And
one of
the
those
thing,
things.
like, we all understand Barrios is a great fighter.
Yeah.
But you look at Bam and what he's doing.
No, I agree.
It's just two
But
different.
what
two different
disappointed
fighters.
me too was the venue. It's a nice venue, by the way, but it was like half full for Bam's fight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Again, that's the lighter weight stuff.
that
you
I
know?
was like,
That was in Dallas, right?
yeah, at the Star,
At the Star, yeah.
the Ford Center. I mean, it's a nice little venue, and it was half
Well,
full.
but the thing is, what happens too is it's the lighter weight division.
Yeah.
I mean, as a main event, people.
Not only that, it was a
Look at
really
that lighter
busy.
weight
It was a
division.
really busy boxing weekend.
Yeah.
There's people staying at home wanting to
Yeah,
watch.
you're right.
But let me
you
tell
know.
you something about
A great boxing weekend.
Bam is, like I seen like I was on my Instagram and I just saw Bam, 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 just a bunch of
Yeah.
things on Bam. I was like, wow, this is great. Every other clip or whatever was coming out was Bam doing something.
And I think the pound for pound rankings came out. I think he's like number 4 or 5 now,
Yeah,
which is
and,
unbelievable.
but that was just to see that and see Bam almost like, I think he's doing a commercial for Everlast or doing whatever it was, but there was 6 or 8 clips of Bam every other one. I was like, well, now this is cool.
Yeah.
Now he's getting that recognition
Yes.
and people are seeing it happen.
sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's what's happening.
Yeah.
with him.
Well, I to your point, I mean, I hope that he, I hope they now. I mean, the credentials are there.
They're in two
It's-
different spots in their career, both
Yeah.
successful. Just two different spots, two different looks. You know what I mean? And that's just it's LeBron and I don't want to say LeBron and Kobe, but it's just two different spots in their career. Like who would you
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a different representation of the city. You have one guy who's dominating. You have another guy who's looks like he's on the ropes. You know, but he's still a world champion. So I don't know. It's a debatable thing of how you see it. You know, because you're from San Antonio, we're all from San Antonio. But who do you gotta not favor one, but there's one guy whose career is just stellar. You know, but
Yeah.
it's all about how you're moved. It's all about who
You
have
can't
in the
argue with
corner.
that point, James.
What else is there? Ozzy,
Caitlin Clark? No.
Ozzy, and Hulkamania.
Hulkster.
So
What
we
you
had-
gonna do?
We had a couple
Brother.
of big deaths this past last week, maybe 2 weeks ago for when you see this. Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk, the Hulkster. We were debating of who was bigger, right? Like if I said if we were Ozzy Osbourne, if I was Ozzy Osbourne, I'd be pissed that Hulk Hogan died the day after me. You know, just because I feel like, you know, I should have been the biggest name of that week or whatever, right? But again, we were debating of who was the bigger name, right? Who was more famous in that, you know, and just in their life. I wouldn't say in death, but in their life, Ozzy Osbourne or Hulk Hogan, right? Two huge guys in their respective fields gone in the same week. And Mark, you're saying Ozzy was
I'm saying globally, Ozzy, for the impact that he's had globally, because we were just talking about it before. I mean, you go to, was it Siberia we're talking about?
Yeah,
or Serbia,
Siberia.
or one of the
Yeah.
one of the two. Either one, pick both countries,
Somewhere in Europe.
and I guarantee you that they know Ozzy's music there. I can't necessarily say maybe they might recognize Hulk Hogan because you can't not recognize that body or that character that he created. But Ozzy's just had that impact, man.
And then the whole thing of, like, you're a wrestling fan too. Like, the whole thing about that is I keep thinking of there's no wrestling venue. WWE, TNA, Impact, New Japan. There's none. There's no arena that isn't sold out that someone isn't thinking Hulk Hogan in that arena. He don't even have to be there, right? Like people think The Rock, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, like all these like superstar greats, right? Like, look at all those wrestling fans around the world. They all know Hulk Hogan. Generationally know Hulk Hogan.
Well, you said it, wrestling fans. There's
How many wrestling fans? Everyone knows wrestling.
There's way more music fans than wrestling
I
fans.
know,
had-
but Ozzy.
I had
That's
I-
rock. You know?
I had this when Ozzy died. I remember. I mean, I know exactly where I was at, and for some reason, I typically don't pick up my phone, but I got a ping. I looked at it, and it just had posted Billboard magazine, the music Bible. Ozzy Osbourne passes. I was like, wow. And I went to tell my wife, and I said, hey, honey, you're not going to believe who died. He goes, who? I said, Ozzy. She goes, are you kidding me? She was right away. She's looking at her phone. Not more within a few minutes, my eldest daughter, Ashley, sends me a text. Did you hear Ozzy died? I must have had, I can't tell you how many people, male and female, pinging me, telling me, did you hear that Ozzy died? When Hulk died, I didn't hear a peep from anyone.
I think Ozzy needed Sharon. He needed his daughter too. If they didn't have that show, or if Kelly isn't on a talk show, or if his wife ain't on a daily talk show, I don't know who.
Well, first of all, we can't forget about Theo Huxtable.
Theo.
We can't overlook Theo Huxtable, man. That's
died-
equally as
it's
important,
sad
equally
the
as
way he
powerful.
died, too.
What's that?
It was sad how he died.
Drowned.
Yeah,
Saving
but
his kids,
saving
man.
his daughter.
Oh,
and she
God.
She lived, and I don't know
Really?
how she was, but she was having trouble in the water. I guess they were surfing or wakeboarding, whatever. And one went under, and the current was started taking her. He dives in to help her, and he gets her out, or she gets out, and he drowns.
Oh, gosh.
Died a hero, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man.
Theo Huxtable, man.
Theo. Yeah.
Shout out Theo. Shout out.
So they're both, I mean, just
Rudy.
big passings, no doubt. I mean, each one of them in their own right.
That was, 3 in 3 days, right?
I don't know if it was 3
But they always
days.
come in
Well,
threes.
when-
They always
that's
say in
right.
threes, but
When
That was
Theo
3
died, and I what's his real name? Theo Huxtable.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah, man. When he died, I looked at
so
Celeste and I
rest in
said,
peace.
"We got 2 more coming."
Yeah. And then Ozzy dropped, and then you're like, well, got one more. Yeah.
Oh,
Who would have thought it
Theo
would be that
died
big,
first?
though?
Theo died
he-
first.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he
I
did.
thought he was third.
No, he was the
He was the
first.
first one to go.
I think he
That
died on
happened
the
quick after.
Saturday or the Sunday.
week?
No, the Sunday.
Yeah.
Then Ozzy's was on the Tuesday, and Hulkster the Wednesday. Right? That's the way it happened.
You know, one
Big
thing,
week,
like
big
talking about those guys that died, and I think that's how we, like, just us in general, right? You die, you want to leave something behind. Not for the whole world to know, but for someone close to you to know, right?
Well, they're powerful. They're powerful people, anyways.
No, but I know they were, but when we die, like when we all die, leave something behind for people to say, man, that guy was a good guy or whatever, right?
Well, we got this
That-
podcast. You know what I mean?
but that's how you want when you pass, you want to leave something behind.
I'm leaving my golf
Character,
scorecard 84. I got my 84
with
to
the,
show.
with the other eraser.
Yeah,
mark.
with the-
yeah.
I'll just scratch
the
out.
eraser
Yeah, Dean,
dust-
man, he exported
the
84,
eraser
but look at
dust
how
is
many
still on
races
it.
he had. Yeah.
The eraser dust is still on
Yeah.
the card.
I'll leave that behind.
This is the 9 turned into a 4.
Yeah.
But that's the. I mean, for me, like I'm with you on that too. Like,
Leave something behind.
and for me, like
True,
you know,
James,
I don't know.
that's right.
I think there's the individual leave something behind, and then there's the I have my kids here. You know, like I have something.
Well, that's what I'm
leaving
leaving behind. I'm leaving my
You know what I mean?
granddaughters.
Yeah.
Part of my, that's part of
Right.
Lisa's and I little thing that we leave behind. Is,
And I think that's the whole thing. When you become a dad, you're thinking, okay, like this is bigger than me now. Because like when I'm gone, there's still a piece of me here. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. In my mind, just being a dad, I have 2 now, so it's just being a dad.
and
like-
we also talk about how the Buddhists are. The Buddhists believe that when you die, you don't die. You stay. You live forever because I'm gonna live through my
That's
boys.
right.
I'm gonna live through my granddaughters and my sons or my grandsons or whatever. Right? I keep living. I live forever. I live forever. When you have family, you live forever.
Right.
They're always thought
And
about.
that's how we think about
You're
it. That's how-
honored.
As long as that lineage continues.
Yeah, that's even the Mexican community with the altars and all that stuff, right? I mean, we keep ours alive.
But James, it's funny. Both you and I celebrate some birthdays recently, and I'd be remiss if I'm not sitting here thinking about how many summers do I have left. For you guys, it's a lot different because
But
I've been there.
I was playing around with them, kind of jokingly. At my birthday was 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks or whatever, and I said, "Hey, at the best, I have 15 to 20 years left here." Think about 15, 20 years goes like that, right?
That, yeah.
But realistically, in 15, 20 years, I'll be 75 to
Right.
to 80.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
That's what were they saying? The lifespan right now,
Yeah.
right? For men are 75, between 75 and 80.
Right.
It's about right.
Yeah, and maybe at a time it gets better.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe,
we try to stay healthy, and
I just say by
put
80
you in a
years
robot.
old, get back on TRT. You can live another 10 years.
That's the whole thing though. Is that's always the assumption is like, okay, older people are closer to death, but death is right next to all of us.
Well, it
Oh, yeah,
is.
it can happen.
There's no
It can
doubt.
happen at any point.
We don't know the time or the day. I get all of that, but
But I love getting older. I love
Yeah.
being older and feeling older and being a grandfather, and
yeah,
that's the best to me.
Yeah.
That's the best part of my life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you start.
I
you
agree.
start,
It's-
oh, you know what? I was on social media and I saw a guy who said it was a pretty big actor, and one of the guy who was interviewing him was saying, "Who do you envy?" You know, because this guy's a big actor in Hollywood. Who do you envy? And he said, "Well, anybody raising kids or anybody who has kids in their life, because I definitely had a purpose during that time. I knew what I was here to do. I knew that I was here to be that person's, my kids, like North Star, guiding light. I had a purpose here to raise this kid to embrace every moment around them, right? I envy anybody who's raising kids." And I was just like, whoa, like,
It's a great
I
perspective.
get that. I get that. You know what I mean? Because he's like, now they're all gone. They have their own life. And I'm kind of here just like, you know, what am I supposed to do?
But
You know?
he gave those kids a head start.
Exactly.
How to look at their life.
Yeah. He's like,
How
you
to
know,
look forward to their lives.
you gotta appreciate all these little moments. You know what I mean? All the grandkids, the kids, like you're raising kids, you have people, you're investing in the next generation. You know what I mean? He's like, I definitely had a purpose. I knew what my purpose on this earth was, to have my hand in these and raising these kids. You know what I mean? And now that it's gone, it's like there's nothing as big as that.
Yeah.
There's never anything as big as that. And it really made me open my eyes, like, man, the life I'm living right now with my 7-year-old and my 4-month-old, this is it. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be I'm supposed to be right here doing this. You know, there's no bigger purpose in my life than this right now. And that was a good perspective. I'm glad I came across that video, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just,
You think about how people are looking at everything else, like, how am I going to make this money? How am I going to make this? How can I buy this building? How can I? And that's all stuff that is I mean, it happens, it's business, but not the most important part of your life. Not even close.
Yeah.
I would
even
say for the most
close.
part, your kids don't care where you're living. It's if you're there in the house,
Yeah.
you know, and that's the they don't care where the home is as long as you're making it a home.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm doing that. That's what I'm. You know, I have a real good perspective of what's going on in my life right now, and that's the thing of work-life balance, right? That's the, you know, and that's another question of when it comes to men, like what's valued right now? Is it money like it was, or is it your job opportunities, your job title, or is it the life you're leaving behind for your kids? What's important in the world right now, right? Like I think me and my wife were talking about this, and I have my in-laws coming in today actually, and that generation they grew up in was just work, ignore everything and put your head down and go to work. And maybe y'all can relate. I don't know, y'all kind of coming out of that, right?
Our parents were that way, kind
Right?
of.
When with success, there's always some kind of drawback, or there's never a balance when you're so far this way. There's something that gives on this side, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking to my wife yesterday, and she was saying, I feel like we're so not balanced, but we're kind of like maybe we're going this way instead of looking at work. Like we're not living to work, we're working to live.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. There's like a big change in the generation right now. You know what I mean? Where the focus is different. Where things like that are true. Where maybe if y'all's parents heard that, they'd be like, "Well, yeah, but you got to make some money to do that." You know what I mean? To be home with the kid or whatever. So I don't know. It's just different perspectives. You think that's changed over time? I mean, obviously it has, but
Maybe, but I think it depends on where you're at in your career and your life, how old you are, because you know, I mean, I was Dean's age. You know, you're thinking about, I got to climb this ladder. I gotta set my foundation. I gotta kind of know where I'm at. It's
and that's the little
I
thing.
gotta rake in some money now.
I love that
you know?
analogy you used of climbing the ladder, right?
Yeah.
Because what I've realized and just being around successful people in my life is there is no end to the ladder.
Right.
You just keep climbing and climbing and climbing, right?
Different stages of it. It's like what James, your dad, said. It's just there's different stages at it, and you know we're at a different stage in that ladder. I guess if you want to look at it from that analogy.
I guess you look at the ladder, and you have floors that you get off on
Yeah.
to enjoy a little bit, and then get back on the ladder and enjoy it.
There you go.
But you never know. That next step on that ladder may not be as enjoyable as the one.
Yeah.
Man, you got depends and everything.
Yeah,
else.
you know, and
No.
you gotta, but you gotta figure it out, right? There's people that climb the ladder real quick in their life, and they ignore all the layers that are in each step that you learn. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't know. It just depends on how you approach life. But I really like being at the floor I'm on right now.
That's good.
I don't have a urge to be like, okay, I gotta get there now. I like the floor I'm on, you know, and because I feel really balanced right now. And maybe there may be a time where I'm like, okay, I gotta make a jump somewhere, but I think I'm always gonna feel that no matter what. I'm always gonna think there's more to do or whatever. But it's good to enjoy where you're at. You know, not to be settled, but
Right.
to at least smell
Yep.
the flowers, I guess,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's why I like that little quote where the guy, there's someone that wrote that, poor guy, all he has is money.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Climbed the ladder, but he didn't
nothing-
plant it
there's
anywhere.
nothing
There's
there. There's nothing. Just he has all the money in the world, but there's nothing there.
and there's a lot of people like that.
There's a lot of
There's
people.
tons.
I
There's a
know,
lot of people just
I've
think
seen-
about it. Oh, with money
seen
you can
people
buy
like that,
this,
and
you can
yeah.
buy that, and hey man, I get it, I understand it. I mean,
I think the whole thing is family.
Mm.
yeah,
You have family, you have everything.
Mm. I mean, that new car is gonna be old next year.
Hmm.
You know, you're gonna get tired of that house eventually. So you're chasing a never-ending ladder.
right.
You're climbing a never-ending ladder with that car, with that house, with whatever. It's gonna be old in 2 years. You know, but being a dad, being an influencer in your household, being like, you know, for men, being the stable foundation for your family, your wife, your kids, and all that never gets old. You
So
know?
we started this particular segment talking about recent deaths, right?
Mm.
Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, Terry Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan. So, what was y'all's first Hulk Hogan moments? And then I'm going to ask, what was y'all's first Ozzy Osbourne moment? What do you remember
Yeah.
about them?
You want to go first, or you want me to
You
go?
go, because I don't have anything in my
Okay,
head.
so Hulk Hogan, my first experience was going to WCW Monday Nitro with this guy, and I think you were there too. Those wrestling matches. It was back in WCW. My first time I saw Hulk Hogan was Hollywood Hulk Hogan NWO WCW, right, where he had jumped WWF at the time. He had jumped ship to WCW, and he had totally reinvented himself as Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And he was just a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And I was just remember like being like this guy with like the iconic hair, the hair without the thing, just like the cul-de-sac. You know what I mean? Like just the hair. I was just like, this is
His
iconic.
bandana, yeah.
You know that guy. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have the name to it, but I just knew that guy looked like a wrestler. Like
Yeah.
he did in my mind. Him and Goldberg and all those guys just looked like wrestlers. Sting.
Yeah.
I was involved in wrestling. I was all in on wrestling during that time. So my first experience was like seeing Hulk Hogan, Sting, Kevin Nash, NWO all in the ring. I have tons of Polaroid pictures of it. And that was my first experience of like Hulk Hogan, like somebody bigger than life, someone who is energizing the crowd, just one guy, you know.
The finger pointing.
Yeah, ripping the shirt off, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just all those things, like the typical, like all
Right.
this stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was just enthralled by it.
Yeah.
And you know, that's right for me. Like I feel like that's like we had said a piece of everyone's childhood died in those 2 days, and Ozzy and
Right.
Hulk Hogan. You
So
know
what
I
was
mean?
your first Ozzy, moment where, was it a song or was
It was a movie.
the
So the
TV
first
show?
no, it was a movie. The first time I really saw Ozzy, I had heard the music before. Obviously, being with this guy, I had heard like Black Sabbath, but I didn't put a face to the sound. He was in Little Nicky, a movie with Adam Sandler, and at the end of the movie, like it's a funny movie with Adam Sandler, but Adam Sandler's character Little Nicky and his brothers are like spawns of Satan. They're like Satan's kids or whatever, and they come to Earth and all that. And there's this big like glowing orb that his mom, who's in heaven, gives to Little Nicky, and she's like, "You'll know when to use this. You'll know when to use this at the right time." So at the very end of the movie, it looks like everyone's going to hell on Earth and all that stuff, right? And he pulls out this ball and boom, he throws it, and Ozzy Osbourne comes out, right? And there's a big bat that one of his brothers turned into, and Ozzy grabs the bat, bites the head off, bites the brother's head off, and spits it into this like flask, and everyone goes crazy.
That's
right?
my first memory of Ozzy.
And it was just like, oh man, like this guy's crazy. And then later on, did I realize he actually did it?
Yeah.
He had actually bitten the
Yeah.
head off a bat or whatever. How hardcore is that? You know, like it's crazy. But that was my first interaction with Ozzy, and then from then on, I was starting to research all the songs and Black Sabbath and all that. So that was my first stuff. You know.
You, James?
My first, besides this, it was 1978, 77. My brother had Black Sabbath albums, and
Or as they say in the South Side, we say Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. And then in 1979, we went to a concert, Black Sabbath, right, to see them out. I forgot where it was at. Coliseum, probably, or Municipal,
Yeah.
right? Municipal?
It could have been municipal or
It was
Coliseum.
79. and we there and see him in concert. And I was like, wow, just a great concert. Just whatever he did, it was just great. But before that, who opened up for him was Van Halen.
Wow.
And Van Halen's first concert, 1979.
Yeah.
Could have been 78, but it's 79, I believe. And that's where I saw Ozzy for the first time. And just great show, great performance, everything. This is 79, so he was at his peak.
Yeah. I think it was, that may have been the show in San Antonio. Dean, if you could look it up, the year that Ozzy peed on the Alamo. But because if it was, then it was Hemisphere Arena Day.
I think it was after he peed in the arena, not the arena, the Alamo, right?
In front of the Alamo.
Yeah, afterwards. I think it was afterwards.
Because that's the first time I saw him. I'll never forget it, man. We were debating whether to go to the show or not. And then it's all over the news.
How old are you at this time?
Teens.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over the news, and it's Ozzy Osbourne's been arrested. And
Did
I
he get
remember
arrested before the concert or after the concert?
it was before, and
Before
I
the concert,
remember
yeah.
listening to Kiss Radio. They were on it, man. It was like a 24-hour news station before there was a 24-hour news station.
Wow.
And they were trying to give updates on Ozzy and what's going on. Is a show happening tonight or is it not happening? And we were debating whether to go or not. And then when Ozzy posted bail and was released, I mean, we decided, well, let's just go to the show because we wanted to see what he's going to say. I mean, at that point, what's he going to say? So that was my first time seeing Ozzy at that show. And Dean, did you find the year?
1982.
82.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it wasn't 79. Yeah.
All right. So that was my first time
Is
seeing
when he
it.
peed. Is when he peed on.
Yeah.
On the cenotaph,
The cenotaph. Yeah, which is right
the
outside
monument
Alamo.
near the Alamo.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But that.
Right,
that
But then he got out, and then he ended up. He apologized publicly, and then he donated 10,000.
How many
to
people-
The Republic of
yeah. That was
Daughters
many
of the
years
Republic
later.
of Texas.
Yeah. Many years later. That's when he and Jack did that. They were doing that show.
I see a guy pee on that almost every night.
Yeah.
Out
Go
there.
there 4 a.m.
Someone peeing on it right now.
Yeah. Did you do that one time? So no, you know it. Yeah, man. So that was it. That was my first time kind of seeing him, but I had heard about him this whole time, man. And
Being a wrestler about the Hulkamania.
Hulkamania, man. It goes back to, I remember seeing him. And so we used to have Time Warner Cable at my house. I remember we had a box. It was a brown box, and it had this little dial on the top that you would move it to start at channel 1, 2, 3, 4. It wasn't
34,
digital,
right?
dude.
Up to 34, I think. Or
No, it went
44.
up to 50 something or
Okay.
6 or 80. I don't remember. It was
80
a dial.
if you bang it. You know.
No, you couldn't, dude. So we would move it over. But I used to watch. I've always been a wrestling fan, and I used to follow Georgia Championship Wrestling when it was on TBS, and then I used to watch WOR-TV out of New York, Channel 2, and they were carrying the World Wrestling Federation at the time. And so, yeah, we got kind of watching Hulk from that whole time frame. And of course, I mean, he was really, really big. He was the star of the first WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Who was in on it, and
You see him slam
deservedly
Andre?
so. Huh?
You see him slam Andre?
I saw that slam Andre.
Really?
Yeah. That was a big dude. It was. I was watching some of the old clips that were shown on the news recently. I go, man, I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and then some of you vaguely remember, but you remember it. And so anyway, it was it was interesting. But yeah, I've been watching Hulk the whole time, and got a chance to meet him at one of the facilities that I was managing, and
Yeah.
a lot of those
I remember
characters.
that when
You know what's funny though?
When Mark was in Corpus, managing one of the facilities, Hulk Hogan was there and his daughter and all them.
Yeah.
And we were backstage, and I took a picture with him. And very
Yeah.
nice. We talked for 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And what's his daughter's name?
Oh my gosh,
Brooke.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I
Dean.
took a picture of Brooke. Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice.
Very
people.
nice. Yeah.
Shout out VH1. I remember the show.
Yeah.
Stuck in my head.
But they were just very nice.
Yeah.
Hulk was just great.
Yeah. He knew when to turn it on, man. He
Yeah.
really
That's what
did.
I was gonna say. Is I felt like I don't know if I have met him or not, but I think like seeing him like behind the scenes.
I
and
know
all
you
that
met
stuff.
Ric Flair.
For sure.
We took our picture after.
For
I'll never
sure.
forget that. All you little kids were like,
Yeah.
hearts were racing.
Yeah.
Real quick, November 24th, 1978. Van Halen served as the opening act for Black Sabbath at the Convention Center Arena.
That's it. It was at the arena then, James. 78 Van Halen. Think of, dude,
Man,
what a
what a
great
concert.
show.
I get to see
David Lee Roth.
Van Halen, David Lee Roth opener for Black Sabbath.
For,
One of the best.
was it for
concerts.
Black Sabbath or Ozzy? In
Black
'78.
Sabbath. It was Black Sabbath.
It was
Black Sabbath.
He
Yeah,
hadn't
they
gone
opened for
solo
Black
yet.
Sabbath.
Ozzy
hadn't gone solo
didn't
yet.
go solo till like 82, right?
Yeah, that's when the first time I saw him was '82.
But that's the whole thing, like with Hulk Hogan, where I felt like he was two different guys. Where there's Hollywood Hulk Hogan, there's like the immortal Hulk Hogan, and then there's like Terry Bollea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think I remember like just looking at it, like he's real soft spoken backstage and real just like every like a guy's guy. And then he, like you said, I turn it on. You know.
I mean, they're all like that. I mean, they're performers, right? And
You know, one guy I never really wrapped my mind around George the animal.
Yeah.
I never wrapped my mind around that. Like,
Thank
is
God
that
he
hair
won a
real?
turnbuckle.
Is that hair real? You know, like
Tell him that story about Ric Flair, how we met Ric Flair afterwards. Their boys were there,
Yeah.
but
you told him that story.
I got a jet to catch,
How
boys.
how he turned it on. He just turns it on, right?
Yeah. He was just like so it was a Monday Nitro at the Alamo Dome, and it was afterwards we got taken to the back because our cars were in Lot A, and the guy who was in charge of security, Egon. Shout out to Egon, man.
Yeah.
He said, I'll take you guys back. And so
Egon.
he gone. So we walked to the back and we passed the dressing room doors and we're on our way out. And then he says, you got to hold on right here because he had a radio piece. Ric Flair was coming out. And he says, hold on here. Ric Flair is going to be coming out. You guys want to meet Ric Flair? And all the kids, yeah. Do you remember this at all, Dean? Vaguely.
It was last year, right?
Ric Flair comes out and he's getting ready to get in his Suburban to take off to go. And we're like, Mr. Flair, excuse me, any way we can get a picture with you? He goes, all right, boys, let's do it. So we had the Instamatic camera. The cameras were about this big, the little flip ones, right? And the little and I was trying to turn it on. It wasn't this guy.
It was one of these.
No. It was a small Instamatic little camera, digital.
The little point and shoot.
The what?
The little point and shoot.
Something like that, yeah. And I couldn't get it ready to turn on, and he was just waiting there. He was talking to you boys for a little bit. He says, all right, hurry up, boys. I got a jet to catch. I'll never forget that. We got it all. We took the photo, and that was cool.
I think we still have that photo. I think I've seen it online recently.
If you have it, man, would you send it to me?
Yeah, I think we have.
That would be kind of really cool. Steve Monastery's kid was with us. Dean Monastery was with us at the time, and yeah, that was something else.
There's nothing like going to like a wrestling match. Like there's nothing like that, you know, like with the family and all that.
The
That's
energy,
good.
man.
The energy is totally different.
Yeah.
Because remember, we're coming from the boxing world where everything's
Yeah.
tense. Like
Yeah.
you're like, oh damn, like what's gonna happen?
Right.
And then you have a very similar but different feel when you see a ring. You're going to a ring and you know you're gonna have some fun. You know what I mean? It's just a totally different change of brain.
Yeah.
You know?
And just the music, the way they play it. I mean, the way it's choreographed all out. It's all storytelling in the best way, and they do a really good job of it.
Choreographed?
Yeah.
There was the dude on social media who was talking about. I think he was at some kind of like panel, and he goes, "It's still real to me." Like he was crying.
This guy's like 40 years old.
Yeah.
It's still real.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
yeah, dude, those bumps and bruises are all real. I mean, they take
But
them.
he was saying like,
Even the guy,
I'm
the
not,
wrestlers.
I'm
Oh,
not,
he
I'm not
didn't think
acknowledging.
the stories, they
He
were
knows
stories.
He's an
They
older
were
guy,
just,
but he's like, I'm not acknowledging that it's fake. It's real to me still, and he's crying.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
then even the wrestlers like, dude, chill.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But he's like, no, whatever. It was a fun thing because I feel like that too. Like I'm like, it's still real to me because I still,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
It's real fake.
it's real
Well,
fake.
I challenge you then to see that WWE Unreal series just came out this week, and it kind of peels it back a little bit. But check it out because one of our friends is on there, and I didn't. Larry Heck. So Larry.
Oh, yeah.
Larry's
good guy.
graduated, man, and shout out to Larry Heck, man.
Larry
but
Heck,
he was a trainer?
He was a trainer here for the Spurs.
Well, no, he was
Oh.
for hockey.
Oh, for the hockey.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
he
for the
was for
hockey
hockey,
team.
yeah.
And then he got
Athletic
picked
trainer.
up by the
WWE.
WWE as a trainer.
He's been with them 20 years, maybe
Yeah.
more. He's their
Probably
head.
more than that.
He's their head athletic trainer now, and he is
Head
now.
trainer as a WWE.
Yeah, he is now in what they call the gorilla
You said
position.
you bend over and you do this. 3 sets.
You get the dumbbell and
He's
you
done.
go.
Dude, if it could be that easy
When he
for
comes
him,
to times,
he'd love
he
it.
gets us the tickets.
He
now.
goes,
He
you
said,
curl
yeah,
and you and
yeah,
stick.
yeah. But he has a prominent role before the wrestlers leave, and especially when they come on back, he checks them out before they come on back, before they go into dressing rooms.
One
And so he's on Unreal.
Oh yeah.
Go
Yeah,
down.
he doesn't know speaking, but you see him in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah,
And I was like,
working.
all right, there's Larry. That's my boy, Larry Heck.
Larry,
Shout out
what
to
the
him.
heck?
Yeah, Larry, what the heck?
There was a fighter. What the heck, Beck?
Yeah.
There's some great. Not to change channels here, but there's some great nicknames in boxing. We'll go over that another day.
Oh, that'd be a great episode.
Yeah, yeah. Next episode we got Jenny Carnes.
Jenny Carnes,
Right.
man.
We're gonna ask her about WNBA. She'll be a good one. She's quick preview. She is.
Jenny is the president and CEO of San Antonio Sports. She was very instrumental in our recent men's Final Four. San Antonio Sports was kind of the local organizing committee behind it all. She's been around big time events, sporting events in San Antonio, especially NCAA stuff for decades, and just an all around awesome person. The best smile you've ever seen.
She fought in our fight night.
She
gala.
was a participant in a red carpet brawl, man, and she laid it out there. So we'll talk a little bit about her experience with that as we get ready to kind of try to find some folks that may want to participate in our red
It's
carpet
about that
brawl.
time now. We gotta start putting the foot to the metal. You know.
Yeah. So
Put
Jenny
the goat
Carnes,
on the chair.
put some cheese on the burger.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah. So stay tuned for that one. That one's gonna be interesting. I feel like that one's gonna have a lot of like intellectual talk. Of business
Too
side,
smart
behind
for
the
me.
scenes. Behind the scenes, what goes on setting up a Final Four? How long do you? Set
Who
up for
is
that,
Final Four?
That'll be a good one to do. Guys, leave us a comment of who do you think was the bigger. Where were you when Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne passed? Theo Huxtable, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Where were you when that happened, right? Who was the biggest name that went that week? What do you think about the Barrios-Pacquiao fight? What do you think about Bam Rodriguez and Barrios? What do you think about all of this stuff? We're giving you so much.
Can you beat Angel Reese 1-on-1?
And what can we do,
And what's
man?
the score?
Suggest us how we can blow up and put that rocket on Bam, man. We got to figure out how to
Bam's
do that.
got the rocket.
No, but we got to make him like.
Yeah, but that's,
You don't want it.
He's
He's too comfortable. He's too happy where he's at right now.
Yeah, but it's work. It's work to get up and go different places, talk to different people. It's a lot of work to do that.
Yeah, it is a lot of time. a lot of work.
Some guys do that after their career. Like right now,
Right now he's saying my
Yeah.
girl's good, my baby's good,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Right now, after his career, remember he wants to open a coffee shop. I'm gonna go hang out at his
I think
coffee
he's at a
shop.
shop.
That's easy.
Well, he hangs out at
he's
one.
he
8 Ball
hangs out at
Coffee.
one.
Shout out to
Yeah,
8 Ball
yeah.
Coffee. Get the BAM special.
Yeah.
It'll jack you up.
Guys, stay tuned next week. Great episode, Leija Lounge. Stay tuned. It's coming up.
We'll see you next time.